NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
Tax season is here, which means you've received or are expecting that tax refund any day now, and you're thinking about what to spend it on. How about a new home? With SaveWithConrad.com, we're helping renters become homeowners every single day, and it's more affordable than you think. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need a huge down payment. In fact, you may not need a down payment at all. At SaveWithConrad.com, we take the stress out of the home buying process. We'll determine your buying power. We'll even help you find a realtor. And unlike the banks, we don't say no. We say not yet, but here's how. So if you're not ready right now, we'll get you on a plan to be ready. Stop throwing your money away, paying someone else's mortgage with your rent, and start the path towards owning your own home today at SaveWithConrad.com.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett, First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage. Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette, Champ, Vinnie, Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Thompson's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. What's going on, man? How are you?
Life is grand, brother. How are you?
Man, better than I deserve. Excited to be on with you today. It's going to be fun because we're doing something a little different. We're not using Peacock. We don't have Dave Silva. It's you and I left to our own devices watching old school Memphis wrestling down and dirty, baby. This is going to be fun.
Great stuff. This is the debut of Jeff Jarrett on Memphis Wrestling.
Yes.
And when you see him on here, you will not recognize him at all.
I mean, he's a kid.
He's a kid. And you know what? It's a great angle. I kind of watched a little bit of it last night, just try to get ready for it. It is old school shit, man. Old school shit.
I can't wait for us to talk about it. And I can't wait for you to watch along with us. It's on YouTube. We'll have a link in the description. I guess in the interest of full disclosure, we don't own this footage, and I don't think anybody even really knows who does. This Memphis library has been disputed and debated and cussed and discussed forever. But this is as old school as it gets, from March 1st, 1986. That's March 1st, 1986 is where this would have went down. And I want to give a shout out to Chris Z891979. He's uploaded a bunch of great wrestling, and this is part of it. And this is going to be the full 90-minute Saturday morning show with all the commercials exactly as it was way back when. We haven't done anything like this before. I'm looking forward to this, dude.
Yeah, so am I. You're right. We haven't done anything like this. And we're going to, when you start, you're going to have a promo for WMC TV of Channel 5 in Memphis promoting the Wheel of Fortune. And just some great local spots that you'll be able to hear, some national spots and some old slogans that maybe you remember when you were a kid will bring back those memories. And then you got some great performers like Superstar Bill Dundee, Buddy Landel, the Fantastics,
Dutch Mantell,
Dirty Rhodes,
Dirty
Dusty Rhodes,
Dirty
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Hey, full disclosure, I never heard of Dirty Rhodes, ever. So he must have gone by another name at one time.
Well, I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's what we try to do here on WHW, is have a little fun. The show will look and feel like it normally does. Next week, we'll check in on Marty Jannetty and see what he's up to. We got some other silliness planned. We might even dust a few off here today. I'm looking forward to this. March 1st, 1986. Tony, we're not going to do our typical countdown this week since we're doing everything else a little different. I say we do something a little different here. Do you want to be like a news yucker, pretending like you're finishing the Saturday morning news? And now we're going to throw it to the wrestling show. If you were going to yuck it up,
all right,
do that as a countdown. And when you finish, I'll say play and we'll press play. How's that?
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the news for this Saturday afternoon, March 1st, 1986. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Championship Wrestling from here in Memphis. Thank you very much for being with us. And we are set to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the footage in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Play.
Join Pat and Vanna for Wheel of Fortune here on TV5.
What do you think of this old school opening, man?
Well, it's great. They kind of stole Ric Flair's music from this, but what the hell? Who cares, right?
No, they
Who
didn't
gives a
steal
shit?
Ric Flair's music from this. This is what Elvis used for a theme song, too.
Oh, of course it is. They stole his music. And why not use Elvis's theme song?
In Memphis.
In Memphis, of all places. Why not?
So this is the open, but I love the iconic opening of the statues. Definitely feels like old school Memphis. And as you see the highlights there, Jerry Lawler just whooping everybody, just nonstop mayhem. Studio wrestling at its best. Of course, you know a thing or two about studio wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's track it. Here we go. This should be fun.
Again, everybody, Lance Russell, Dave Brown. We're right along ringside. Oh, what a group we got today, huh, Dave? Boy, I'll tell you, that's in keeping with the kind of program that we got lined up for today's Championship Wrestling.
Going to have the big guy out of Austin, Texas in here to begin with. Dirty Rhodes will be here in the opening match. Following that, the Dutchman from Oil Trough, Texas. We will have Dundee and Landel. They'll be together as a tag team today. The Fantastics will be here, too. Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton. And a little bit later on, we are going to have in an expiration of time match, J.D. Costello and the Mod Squad.
First time that we've had them here, we've seen the advanced billing on them and heard what Costello had to say about him. We'll see Spike and Basher and J.D. Costello a little bit. Also, we got an interesting interview with Dutch Mantell. I think that'll reveal, if you can get close to this kind of a guy, a little bit about Dutch's personality in there. All of that and a bunch more. We better get going back with the opening bout with Dirty Rhodes in just a moment.
Look at there.
Mid-South Coliseum, buddy. And was Lance Russell just as smooth as they could be?
Dude, so smooth. Let's listen to these commercials.
All right.
You can win TVs, stereos, clips, free rentals, 25,000 quality stamps.
Look at
We'll
those
give you
washers and
100
dryers.
On time, 100 just for asking. Tell them, Johnny. Look, nobody can beat our prices. Are you renting or thinking about renting from someone else? We're the first in Memphis. We'll fill the
Renting.
We will save you money. You'll get it easy. You'll get
Look, you done son of the bitch. We could save you money.
How about that? 327 rent. They're trying to rent you TVs and rent you appliances.
Truck is priced more than the top 5 compact pickups in America. Okay, so you needed a hint. Well, now you can get that low pricey Suzu for.
Look at that price. $5,900.
A $6,000 truck. Hey, look at there, 8.6% APR. That's like an interest rate from this past February.
Man.
How about
Oh my God.
the Suzu trucks for $7,000?
That's great.
You know, there's going to be good news rolling your way in this Sunday's newspaper. Good news about cash for each and every day of hospitalization paid in addition to any other insurance you may have.
My goodness. Listen, I don't want to hear any shit about our ad reads. Our ad reads are way better than these.
Oh, there are shit, man. Shit, man, we know what the hell we're doing. This fella right here who's shilling some insurance from Physicians Mutual. He was a big time TV guy at one time. Oh my God.
Listen to this guy.
Keeping up with your financial goals takes serious effort. Nowadays, the high cost of living can pressure your ability to meet the demands of a growing family. But you don't have to be trapped by financial problems. Call on City Finance, where personal service.
I guess they thought, hey, it's sports. Let's have guys playing basketball in the background, but nobody's even trying to score.
Now he's going. The big dunk.
Oh, it's a
City.
white boy dunk, kinda almost dunk. Kinda.
All right, here we go.
Back.
Hey, this is us. We're ready to go. Official announcement.
All right, it's going to be one fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing a 211-pound from Mississippi, Benny Traylor, and going against him from Austin, Texas, at 301 pounds, Dirty Rhodes.
Now watch this.
One fall, 15-minute time limit.
Look
match.
at that.
And the referee for this match is Jeff Jarrett.
Okay, we're about
My
ready to go.
goodness.
One fall, 15.
What?
Bell time.
What?
Here we go.
What a skinny little pipsqueaking motherfucker he was, huh?
Dude, he is another human being. Look at this. This is before he discovered combs, scissors, the gas, a weight bench, any of that.
God, I'm telling you right now, if they didn't say his name, you would have never recognized him. Now,
Let me just say this Dirty Rhodes guy,
yeah,
if you didn't know any better, at a blink, I mean, the body type is similar. Now, I don't know that he looks like him in the face, but he's got the hair dyed blonde,
right,
got the boots like him. He's wearing the trunks like him.
right.
But like, if you were just, I could see how if you weren't a real wrestling fan, you could be fooled by this.
Oh, sure. That's why they called him Dirty Rhodes. And of course, got the big hips, got the big belly, right? And the big elbow.
Oh my God. This is, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. Oh, look, there goes Jeff.
2 and 3.
There's no way that's Jeff Jarrett.
It only took him a minute. Dirty Rhodes comes through.
No, if it was Jeff Jarrett 2023, even though he started as the referee, he'd have wound up the winner. That's just what he would have. Here's Dave Brown.
Match. The time on it, 1 minute even. We are going to be back in just a moment with more of championship
Commercial?
action.
Buddy, they were making some money back here.
Well, you're damn right. I mean, these were big numbers on a Saturday morning.
Highest
right?
rated program. Yeah, beat their local news. So they're going to take as many commercials as they can.
Right.
Wonder what this one's for. Custom
Yes.
van days. Here we go.
Now through Sunday, explore the latest innovations in custom vans from your Metro Custom Van.
We can fuck in the back now, y'all.
To know about vans, no matter what.
Hey, we had a van like that.
Of course you did, with all those Howl at the Moon kids.
Yeah, and we had a TV in it for them and a VHS player. We sure did.
So it was you and Lois and 5 damn kids in the back?
Yeah, we had 2 captain seats in the back, and then a bench seat in the back, and the bench seat had a electronic thing that you could make out into a bed. So whenever we fly late, 3 kids would sleep in the back.
You ever take anybody to Pound Town in the back of that van?
No, my God.
I mean, why have a van like that if you're not going to fuck in it?
Well, because you now listen to you.
Combat display. Look at this. That stereo's $1,000. Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how much money that would be in today's money? Like, no one would ever pay that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Such a different time. This is what you and Lois used to do, right? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Is this what I think it is?
This is a Taco Bell commercial.
Tortilla chips smothered with just about every ingredient they had. So try nachos Bel Grande. People of burgers do this to you. Taco Bell, the cure for the common meal.
The cure for the common meal.
Here's old William R. Moore's liquidate. Look at this. This is
Man,
like a time capsule for real. You know what?
It's unbelievable. It really is. Now, of course, this is not HD, as you know, but still, every infants and children slash. No, we mean the prices of their clothes.
No kidding.
Underwear. You need underwear? We got them. It's a liquidator. They don't have liquidators anymore. They just have like
Amazon,
Marshalls,
and eBay.
Marshalls, yeah, or TJ Maxx. They liquidate stuff.
Let's take a listen. See what these guys are saying.
All right.
Well, a lot of times all this bragging goes by the board when you see the action in there. I'm really interested in seeing the Mod Squad. They will be here for the first appearance, and I've heard a lot of things about them. So we'll be seeing J.D. Costello and the Mod Squad a little bit later on. Dutch Mantell, complex kind of a guy in one way, and another way he's a very simple kind of a guy. He's very direct, very straight ahead. He doesn't like you. He lets you know that. He seldom is bubbly about anybody in particular. Interesting conversation he had with Eddie Marlin, and we've got it on tape. Let's take a listen to it.
Dutch, I just wanted to get with you this morning and talk to you. I've had phone calls after phone calls, thousands.
By the way, the guy talking right there, just so you know, Tony, that's Jeff Jarrett's grandfather, Eddie Marlin.
I've seen, and most of the fans have seen the fight that y'all had on TV. But y'all were such close buddies. Every time Bill Dundee would go to the ring, you would stand at the dressing room door. The minute he got in trouble, you hit the ring. Dundee watched your back. Everywhere you seen one, you seen the other. And something had to happen to bring that fight on. And we just like to get to the bare facts, and nobody but Dutch Mantell can really tell us exactly what happened.
Well, let me say this. You want to hear the story?
Yeah, sure.
It's a deep-rooted story, and it goes back years and years and years. Let me take.
Well, here, just take this, and
I want you to listen, Eddie, and I hope the fans can understand. I was here for a long, long time, and so was Bill Dundee, and I knew him here. And then, as you have to do in a wrestling profession, you have to move around. So Bill Dundee, he went to Louisiana, and I went to Florida. And when I was in Florida, then I had an opportunity to go down to Louisiana, and that's where Bill was. So when I went down there, it's only a natural occurrence that since I'd known him here, we were big buddies there. He was glad to see me. I was glad to see him. And we began to sort of team up together and ride, make wrestling matches in different parts of the country together and fly and everything. And where you saw Bill, you saw me, because we were friends. And we'd ride up down the road, and I'd take my guitar, and I'd play it, and boy, me and Bill, we would sing and all this stuff. I thought we had a good thing going. And I would sit over there and chew my tobacco and tell jokes and just, basically just have a good time. And we'd listen to country music on the way up there and on the way back and wherever, and we'd get to hit to the airports. We'd go to the bar and get around and stuff. So the time the flight would leave. So finally, Bill, his contract was up down there. And he said, I want to go back home. So his contract was up, so Bill left, and after about a month, I sort of wanted to go back too. So it took me another couple of weeks. Bill got back here before I did. And took me a little longer because I had 3 or 4 weeks of obligations and commitments that I was obligated to that I had to make. So I did that, and I came back in here. And everything was just like it was when we was in Louisiana. We would still make trips together and still play country music and still have a good time, And it is true that when Bill got in trouble, I helped him out. Because when I'm friends with somebody, I'll stay true to him. And then this blonde-headed guy named Buddy Landel showed up. Now, let me tell you one thing, Eddie. I don't know if you know this or not. Let me tell you people about Bill Dundee. Bill Dundee is like a chameleon. Is that the word? It's like it's a little lizard-looking thing. When it gets on a green thing, it turns green. Or if it gets on something black, it'll turn black. It just blends in. Now, Bill Dundee has a characteristic about him that when he gets around somebody, he sort of tries to adopt their characteristics and their personality. When he was with me, he liked country music. And he chewed more tobacco. He was always bumming me for tobacco. I'd get in the car, and Bill would say, Dutch, did you bring your tobacco? And I said, yeah, Bill, I brought the tobacco, but it wasn't no big thing because he was a friend of mine. I accepted him for what he was. And Buddy Landel got here, and all of a sudden I noticed this big, big change in Dundee. And all of a sudden he was assuming the characteristics of a nature boy, Buddy Landel. See, when me and Bill were together before Landel, we would go to places that had low ceilings, right, smoky, and we'd drink Jack Daniels, right? But when Landel got here, he wanted to go places with high ceilings and chandeliers where they drink wine and talk about the Zodiac and play backgammon in the back. See, I just don't fit in a place like that. And Landel, obviously, he's got into Dundee's ear, and, I heard him say, that I was a redneck and I was a hillbilly and that I cramped his style. And pretty soon Dundee was agreeing with him that I'd cramped Dundee's style. Now, to me, that just ain't right. I didn't cramp his style before. We pulled up to a restaurant one day, and he was going in, and Landel turned back to me, and he said, Dutch, why don't you stay in the car because you look like a bum. Well, to me, I didn't look like a bum in Louisiana. I looked the same. I looked down. I like to wear jeans. Landel, he likes to wear $500 suits, which is fine with me. I don't care. Next thing I know, Dundee showing up in a tuxedo, and he's walking around. But let me tell you one thing. See, what happened is I didn't stop liking them. They stopped liking me, which is fine with me. Because I'm my own man. Lance Russell said it before that I'm a loner. Yeah, I am a loner. I like to do things my way. And if somebody else wants to do things their way, hey, that's fine. But don't knock me for the way I want to do things. You understand what I'm talking about? It's not hard to It's not hard to understand at all. But let me tell you one thing, people, about Dundee and Landel.
My God, is this the longest promo you've ever heard in your life?
No, one's by MJF are the longest ones.
Okay, besides those 20-minute MJF Jack Me Off segments, is this the longest? I mean, this is
this is actually lost my attention a few minutes ago.
We could have done some editing here.
Yeah, we sure could have, but that's us.
Well, let's say this. Let's play a little game.
Okay.
We like to call it Would You Rather.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for this?
I don't know. I never know if I'm ready for what you're calling out.
Well, you know, me and my friends, my slapdick friends, as you like to call them, my whack packer friends, as you like to call them,
idiots.
We play a game called Would You Rather.
Okay, this is going to get interesting. I can understand it already. Oh, they just finished talking.
Oh, thank goodness.
We'll play this. What you want to hear, Ed? Anything you play me. What you want to hear?
Oh my God, you want a guitar to play?
I ain't no telling. I can't tell you the secret, man. What you want to hear? What, little Wildwood Flower? That's right.
Dun, 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 dun. Wildwood flower grew wild on the farm. We never thought it was much. Some say it's a weed, some say it's a flower. I'd say tug on my nuts. What?
Now feels like an appropriate time to do this. Would you rather? Tony,
okay.
Would you rather have sex with a goat and no one would ever know?
Yeah.
Or not have sex with a goat, but everyone thinks you did?
Not have sex with a goat and everyone think that I did.
Really? You don't want to fuck that goat?
No.
Well, what do you think Dutch would do? You think Dutch would want everybody saying he fucked a goat, or would Dutch just knock that goat out?
He'd knock that goat out, buddy. I mean, the guy with a throw rug on his back like he's got. This was 1980s. This was right before Dutch and Bobby Jaggers came to NWA.
They are indeed going to be joining up with the Crockett team, and here we see him putting on a clinic, if you will, against Jerry Garman. This is, I guess, our third segment here on the show. We started with Dirty Rhodes and Benny Trailer, had Dutch Mantell and Eddie Marlin doing that promo, and now Dutch in singles action here against Jerry Garman. And as I understand it, Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel are going to do a promo next here on the program. What do you think of just the presentation of studio wrestling? You know a thing or two about studio wrestling. What do you think of this setup compared to the Crockett one?
Well, I like the Crockett one better because it focused on the fans, whatever little fans there were, and I didn't necessarily like the shot of that single cameraman by himself with that wood grain background and the announcers over there. It's just like right here.
Yeah, you don't like that shot.
I don't like the shot of the single cameraman. But hey, it worked for them. What am I to say, right? I mean,
they dominated the ratings, that's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I mean, again, now one thing I know by watching part of this last night, there's an angle that happens, and they get in touch with Jerry Lawler, who was watching the show. And the way they got in touch with him was nothing that you would ever see on TV in a wrestling show today.
Was it the telephone?
The telephone.
Yeah.
But you got to.
Now you tweet him.
Yeah, now you tweet him, but just the way they did it. Now, I'm not talking about the telephone, just the way they shot. Look at all those ladies in the front with white on.
They're hoping to get a little blood or back here. They're in the right spot with Dutch Mantel here.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you, I could give Dutch a run for his money on the back, I think.
Really?
No. Here we go.
He came in there too quick, and Dutch him with a boot. He rattled him with that boot, put him down, and power slammed him, and son of a gun, he got the 1, 2, 3. We still got a bunch of action to go. Dundee and Landel will be here. The Fantastics, JD Costello and the Mod Squad. All of that yet to come. Back in a moment.
Tony, they're taking a timeout. I think we should too.
All right.
Stop it down here at 18:50 And we'll take this time out to tell you about our friends at Henson Shaving. Boy, back in these days in 1986, there was an expression in the business, red turns to green. But we're suggesting you save some green and never see any red. Get the best shave of your life with Henson Shaving. We just absolutely love this company. It really is a family-owned company, which you know we love. But at the same time, it's a family-owned aerospace parts manufacturer. These dudes have made parts for the International Space Station and the Mars rover, and now they're bringing that same precision engineering to razor blades. They're using aerospace-grade CNC machines to make metal razors that are just 0.0013 inches thick. That's less than the thickness of a human hair. It means a secure and stable blade. It means a vibration-free shave. And by the way, the razor has built-in channels to evacuate hair and cream, which makes clogging virtually impossible. Seriously, Henson Shaving wanted to make the best razor, not the best razor business. That means no plastic, no subscriptions, no proprietary blades, no planned obsolescence. This is the best of both worlds. It gives you that old school feel, but it gives you all the benefits of new school tech. Every wrestler in the business and your grandfather used to shave with a standard dual-edged blade, but they've never known about one this thin. It is going to be the best shave of your life. Not only is it better, it's also cheaper. You see, once you own a Henson razor, and I think this could be your last one you ever get, it's only $3 to $5 to replace the blades. Not $3 to $5 a week, not $3 to $5 a month, not $3 to $5 a quarter, $3 to $5 a year, Tony. And normally
Amazing.
when something is better, it costs more. In this case, it's better and it's cheaper. It sounds too good to be true, but we can do it for you with Henson Shaving. And Tony, I think you've got a special offer for us.
Time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that'll last you a lifetime. Visit hensonshaving.com/WHW to pick the razor for you and use code WHW, and you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor purchase. Now, this is important. Just make sure to add them to your cart. So add them to your cart. Use the code WHW. You'll get 2 years worth of razor blades for free with your razor. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/WHW and use code WHW.
Let's get back to our program. Tony, I'm at 18 minutes and 50 seconds as we're watching March 1st, 1986 from Memphis. They're going to commercial. We just finished ours. Let's take a listen to what it sounded like way back when. In 3, 2, 1, play.
National Motor Spectacular, the Crown Rumble.
This has got to be before Bigfoot was here. He would have been all over the promo. It is interesting in this commercial. They're showing mostly empty stadiums. Like, could we not make sure there's people before we film?
Nope. We just want to show boobies and people in.
I saw the boobies.
I did too. Hey, baby, Mid-South Coliseum tonight at 8 o'clock.
Network Rental. Let's see what they're renting.
Now only at Network Rental. Rent any deluxe color television.
Man, people were renting stuff over here, were they not?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Aaron rents back then. That was the big thing.
I'll tell you what, though, this tells you that this is a socioeconomically depressed area when you're renting couches.
Yeah.
No credit requirement, no hefty cash deposit, no long-term obligation, repair service included. Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
A news update.
The French Riviera Spa reduces membership costs by 50%. Here's more. French Riviera.
I don't think that's actually a news spot. If I had to guess.
Free ice skating class lessons. That got us going.
Man, can you imagine the fun you and Britt Baker would have had taking ice skating lessons together?
Oh, I would have picked her up every time she fell.
That's not true. I just saw you just start calling commentary last week when she got her ass beat. You just stood there like a friend, no friend would ever want, and just said, "Wow, that looks like it hurts. That looks like an owie, ouchie."
Do you actually think I was going to roll in the ring with the Outcast there?
Well,
those girls are more dangerous than anybody that Chris Jericho could put out. So stop.
Well, I'm just saying. Now I know. Now Britt Baker knows how I feel. Don't come to my wedding or her rescue. But then you're like, oh, happy birthday. You mean happy birthday with a black eye? Good for nothing, Tony Schiavone, damn it.
We're looking for the AWA Southern Heavyweight title holder, also the Mid-America title holder. And in the event you haven't been keeping up with your belt, we're talking about Bill Dundee, the Southern Heavyweight Champion, and the Mid-America Champion, Nature Boy, Buddy Landel.
Look at that Buddy Landel's belt.
Eddie Marlin goes over to Dutch Mantell's pad and to make a little interview explaining why the Dutchman can't hang around with the Nature Boy and the Superstar. Well, it's quite easy, chump. See that? Says Mid-America. See this? Southern Heavyweight title. We got you one, Daddy. We got you the International. What happens? Along comes Rick Casey, beats your brains out, and you don't have a belt no more. Well, when you hang around with class, Daddy, you got to be class, and you're looking at the best there is. So when his belt went, and you told us, you said, it was you, Mr. Russell, last week. You go down here, and you really showed us how much of a redneck Dutch Mantell was. So the Nature Boy said to me, Billy Boy, that man has got to go. So he went. And that's all there is to it. So then he hangs up with Billy Travis. Not taking nothing off you, Billy Travis. All the little girls scream at your little curls, and you're great and will be great 10 years from now. But today you're a punk, and you're going to be treated like a punk Monday night, and we're going to beat your brains out, okay?
Well, Dutch Mantell and Billy Travis were not run off. They're coming back for more, Buddy Landel.
Well, let me tell you something. You know, Lance Russell, Dutch Mantell comes out here and he tells his side of the story. Well, we got our side of the story too.
All right, we're listening.
You see, the whole time that Bill Dundee was hanging around Dutch Mantell, he was only humoring himself, okay? He was laughing at you behind your back, Dutch, the whole time. All right? Lance Russell, I'm going to pat you on the back for stirring all this up, all right? But let me tell you something. One time, Dutch Mantell got me to go in one of them low roof, smoky bars, and they had to put me on a respirator because I almost got lung cancer, all right? That's what I'm talking about. Now, Dutch Mantell, you were nothing but an extra mouth to feed. We did nothing but carry you the whole time you were around us. And like Bill said, you're out here talking about you carried us. I've got my belt. He's got his belt. Where's yours at, huh?
Well, you get
one thing, Mr. Russell. You know, most people don't get a chance to do this because most people live the life like this. But when you live it the way the Nature Boy and the Superstar does, all we did, we slummed a little bit. We got out of Buddy's Lincoln and my Lincoln and got in Dutch's beat up old LTD to see how the poor people live, and I don't like it. There's a guy I know got a poster hangs up at his office, and on the poster there's a picture of a Rolls Royce and a guy with a bottle of wine, and right underneath that, the words say, poverty sucks, and you're right, it does, and that's what you are, man.
Well, there you hear the other side of the story.
So, by the way, they would be in the Crockett Cup the next month, Buddy Landel and
Dundee.
Yeah. But it would be until July, I think, until they started showing up on a regular basis for Crockett. What do you think of that old school primitive TV set?
Well, they tried to add some depth to it with those grids. But,
listen to this.
Oh, my God.
We'll see those two that you just heard, Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel, the Superstar, living legend, and the Nature Boy. They'll be in Fulton, Mississippi Thursday night. Also, Mantell will be there, Dutch will be there, and the fantastic J.D. Costello will have the Mod Squad, all in Fulton, Mississippi, Thursday night. Friday night, the next night in Jackson, Tennessee. Now, the box office is going to be open Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, so you can buy your tickets in advance and be ready to be there that night.
Buddy, I love that they showed in the last show you could buy your tickets at the Quick Sack, and here you can buy your tickets at the Boot King.
Right.
This is so good.
In Tennessee, Phil Hickerson. That's Friday night, March 7th in Jackson. Friday the 21st, Championship Wrestling will be in Boonville, Mississippi.
By the way, in Boonville, don't forget, get those tickets at Chicken Hut.
In Boonville that night. And on Sunday, March 23rd, Championship Wrestling will be coming back to Jonesboro, Arkansas. Don't forget now, this Thursday night, it'll be in Fulton, Mississippi. And this coming Friday night, March 7th, Championship Wrestling will be in Jackson, Tennessee. We are going to be back here. We will have Dundee and Landel coming in as a tag team. A little bit later on, the Fantastics and the Mod Squad today on Championship Wrestling. Back with all of that in just a moment.
So they're taking a break. We're going to hang out through it. Coming up on the other side, though, is Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel taking on Jim Jamison and David Johnson. And I think this is the Jeff Jarrett angle.
Yes, it is
going to happen. So this should be pretty fun. But on the way here, how about these commercials?
Why don't you ask your wife how she's going to pay the bills if you die?
Call for facts about
Okay, wow, coming in a little hot. Why don't you ask your wife if she's going to pay the bills when you die? All right.
She's, I'm not going to pay bills at all. I'm just going to give his brother blowjobs.
Coming in hot, baby.
Hot. Thank you, honey. I'll take your money and I'll get laid. Are you really serious about that, lady? I am too. We both want to get out from underneath your husbands, get his own money, and have sex on a regular basis. Call 1-800-332-80.
8,300. And then La Champion, Chris Jericho, will come to your house, handcuff you to something in the house, and then other women will come in and whoop the shit out of him.
With a kendo stick. That's Colonial Pen. Pen is from Pennsylvania. Public notice.
Fleming Fine Furniture. Uh-oh. It sounds like they're running a big discount. Maybe the lowest prices Memphis may ever see, Tony.
Yeah, from spring sales to factory liquidations.
Not just bedrooms either, motherfucker. They got sofas, sleepers, water beds. Dude, this is how you market to wrestling fans.
Yeah, it's no time for profits now. Man, all four stores.
Get down here. Help. Oh, look at this tobacco spot.
Granger Select is good and moist all the way through. A quality chew.
I've never had a fresher tobacco. They're good leaf.
This is good stuff.
I'm enjoying the daylight out of it.
In the back. Try new Granger Select. Taste the.
You ever try chewing tobacco?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I sure did.
Oh God. I mean, I had big league chew. That's as far as I got.
Really? You never tried?
Look who the referee is.
To get in here, and here comes the club. Into the ring. We're ready for our next.
Check this out, dude. It's not a canvas and a ring skirt. They just bring the canvas all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
That's an interesting little twist.
Absolutely. Give me a time check here, buddy.
I'm at 28:08, 09,
Okay.
10,
Right.
11, 12. Let's take a listen.
From Australia, the superstar, the living legend, Bill Dundee, his partner from Los Angeles, California, the nature boy, Buddy Landel. Landel wearing the Mid-America belt, Dundee wearing the Southern title. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Jeff Jarrett is the referee.
How about the Mid-America belt that Buddy Landel had on? It's like a block of 10.
It was a trophy style belt for sure. I mean, clearly just very primitive, made with sheet metal.
Right.
Before it got as involved as it is now. I mean, can you imagine the craftsmanship that went into the AEW belt by comparison?
Yeah. Does anybody have that belt that you know of? That's kind of.
Believe it or not, Dave Milliken might have that one. He's got like that Southern belt that that Dundee was wearing. I think he's got that one. He's got a bunch of those old ones.
Yeah.
Memphis was his shit. He grew up just outside
of
Memphis in Drummond's. And I guess if you grew up here, this is like your Crockett or your ECW or what have you.
Sure.
And it's a shame too, because I do feel like, Memphis got a bit of a bad rap because at times they would try some outlandish, monster characters, some silly stuff. And as the legend goes, they would switch up who was quote unquote booking. Be 6 months with Jerry Jarrett and then 6 months with Jerry Lawler. And as I understand it, Jerry Jarrett is the person who was maybe more of the booking genius of how to book television. What in the world? Meanwhile, Jerry Lawler, he was more of a comic book guy. So he liked the over the top, fantastic, monsters and things like that. Heavy on the entertainment. Either way, though, I think it's a shame that so much of the Memphis stuff has sort of been, I don't know, disrespected over the years, where people say, oh, LOL, that was Memphis, especially when there's so much silliness that's happened in other places. Like the idea that anybody that's a huge WWF fan would be critical of anything they did here. Oh, they had all those stupid monster characters. I liked it real. Like when The Undertaker was a magic zombie who fly to heaven. Come the fuck. It's wrestling. It's entertainment.
Yeah. You know what? I don't, half of those comments you can't even take you got to take with a grain of salt because it's not real comments.
Right. They're just hating for the sake of hating.
That's right.
Yeah. By the way, it's public service announcement. We got one last week about marijuana from Tony Schiavone. Here's one from your old pal, the voice of your pandemic. Social media ain't real life, y'all.
No.
It's okay to just take it off your phone.
Yeah.
A day off every now and again.
Yeah.
And because someone likes something different than you doesn't mean they're a bad person or they hate everything you like.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, nobody gives a shit what you really like anyway.
That's right.
It's okay to keep some of those fucking opinions to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Say to yourself, self, do I need to share this?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not sure, maybe don't.
Right.
So who cares?
I'll go a step further. If you're one of those people and you're a troll and you hate everybody and you say smart things about it, I hope you walk out in front of your house today and get hit by a car.
Well, I'm not going to say that because here's the thing, man. A lot of the people who are just hateful online, they're miserable people. They hate their life and something in their life isn't going according to plan. And I hope it turns around and gets better because
wow, that's positive.
Happiness is a choice. It is a decision. And I understand that when you have one bad thing happen to you and then another and then another and another, it's easy to just think, oh, everything's bad. Everything's the end. That's not the case, man. Just
never is.
Fucking find a way. I mean, listen, once upon a time, the internet was convinced you hated wrestling, Tony, that you were jaded and hated wrestling and wrestling fans. And now they know better, but everybody didn't know your story, but certainly a lot of people jumped to that conclusion and made assumptions. And I don't know, life's too short, man. Choose to find a way to be happy. Damn all that's being negative for the sake of being negative. Jeff Jarrett calls for the bell. There it is, Buddy Landel and Mr. Dundee make quick work. Let's track it. Take a listen here.
3 count on them. Dundee and Landel celebrating a victory here. An overpowering victory, I might add, over Jim Jameson and David Johnson.
They were no excuse in that. Buddy Landel, they beat the stew out of them. Now Landel and Dundee are showing what big men they are. Oh, Johnson thrown over the top rope.
So after the match, Buddy Landel goes to put the figure 4 on him. Jeff Jarrett tries to talk him out of it. Buddy slaps him and throws him and he takes a bump. Now the punches and the kicks. Look at here.
Yeah. Did Jeff razor himself just now?
Dundee nails Buddy Landel and right back at Dundee. This is Jerry's son that was refereeing. Landel got him from behind. And Dundee slams him with a right, puts him down on the deck. Come on, this thing's getting out of hand now. God, Dundee's going for his eyes, Dave. He's only got one good eye in there. Come on.
Look at those girls hooting and hollering for a young Jeff Jarrett. Look at the way these punches are coming in.
Yeah. Oh, the announcers came out.
My God. Thank God eventually somebody taught Jeff how to throw a Memphis punch because these are some windmill shits here. Oh, man, down he goes.
How old was Jeff back then? Back here?
Yeah. He's let's see, this was 35 years ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's 37 years ago. Is that right? Holy shit. Yeah, so he's gonna be 56 this year. So he's 19.
Wow.
Maybe not quite 19 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dirty Dutchman comes out and makes the save. Track it here.
Doing the damage they were doing to Jameson and all.
Just doing his job here. And then his dad comes out to help him. They know Jerry's only got one good eye, and they go after it.
And start gouging in the eye. That's the thickest thing I ever saw. I'll tell you one thing. That is absolutely.
Fucking Jeff.
Well, guys, something's got to be.
Jeff Jarrett is completely limp and dead weight as Dutch Mantell is carrying him out like an officer and a gentleman.
It's like, man, he's drunk. Let's get him home. He's passed out drunk.
Let's track it.
And I can guarantee you this is one place I'm not objective about the thing. It's ridiculous. It's bad enough when they come out here and do some of the things they do to like Jameson and Johnson. Sure, they're their opponents. You go in there, you beat them and that. but you don't start beating him around. And then you jump on a kid just out of high school like that. Then his dad comes out and tries to protect him naturally. And the next thing you know, they're in there digging at his eye, the only eye. He's got one bad eye, and they're digging at the only good eye he had. Something's got to be done about that.
You're absolutely right.
Sick.
Tell you what, we're going to be back. We've still got more matches to go here. We're going to be back with more in just a moment.
They're going to take a break, Tony. I think we should too.
Okay.
Stop it down to 36-20 here. Man, we got to give shit to Jeff Jarrett from some of those punches. I mean, I'm sure he's not losing any sleep about it these days. He's got a hell of a punch. And as we know, tonight on AEW, he's going to put Dax Harwood to sleep the hard way with a big old guitar shot.
Yeah, baby.
You won't have any trouble sleeping. But if you do, someone who needs extra recovery from that last workout, or maybe you're like me and you just sleep hot in general, well, you don't need to suffer or wake up tired or wake up sore. Sleep Me's award-winning sleep systems are here to save the day. It's a mattress topper that goes over your current mattress. As a heads up, you don't need to buy a new mattress. It just uses water's amazing thermal powers to cool your bed down as low as 55 degrees. That means no matter how hot you get, you can sleep at your ideal sleep temperature. Sleep Me makes customizable climate-controlled sleep solutions to help you improve your entire well-being, and that's certainly been the case for me. Prior to Sleep Me, I was sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night. And oftentimes in the afternoon, I'd have a crash. I'd take a little nap in my office. Not anymore. I'm powering through my day because I'm getting 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep, and I'm having bright, vivid, colorful dreams. It lets me know I've got that deep REM sleep. And by the way, these sleep systems work on all types of beds. Yes, even the adjustable ones. And maybe you're worried, well, hey, my wife or husband doesn't like to sleep at the same temperature as me. No problem. They've got configurations for dual temperature control. You can go as low as 155 and as low as 55 and as high as 115. Think about that. Now, here's what happens on my side. I want to get in a cold bed and stay in a cold bed all night. My wife wants to climb in a warm bed. She doesn't want to get all hot and sweaty, so it cools her down so she gets that good sleep and she doesn't get hot and sweaty. And then it warms her up to wake her up. And maybe you don't like the idea of getting in a cold bed. Why not do what my wife does? Schedule the temperature changes. It does it automatically. It's pre-programmed for her every night. You're going to love it. And they've got the Dock Pro and the Cube sleep system. They're both mattress toppers. They can get you down to just 55 degrees. The Dock Pro, though, is the newest, latest, and greatest, most powerful system. It's going to get you the perfect sleep climate. No matter your body's heat load or the room temperature, you can dial it in every time. Think of it as like a smart thermostat for your bed. And Tony, I think we got a special offer right now.
If you need better athletic recovery or are suffering from hot, uncomfortable sleep, you got to check out Sleep Me at sleep.me/WHW. That is sleep.me/WHW. Plus, as a listener to What Happened When, you can save up to 20% on the sleep system if you use promo code WHW. This is, Conrad said, really a game changer. Need to check it out at sleep.me/WHW and save up to 20% using promo code WHW.
Tony, let's get back to the show here. We're watching Memphis Wrestling from March 1st, 1986. They're taking a commercial, but we're done with ours, but we still want to hear theirs. This should be fun. We're at 36 minutes and 20 seconds on YouTube. March 1st, 1986. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Groove for new arthritis drink BC. I'm a seamstress, but my arthritis can hurt so bad.
My goodness, my arthritis can hurt so bad. Lord, they knew who their target audience was, did they not?
It sure did. Yeah. They absolutely sure did.
Just think that could be Lois, but you just won't give her any fucking BC powder. She's got all the shit that lady has in her basement.
That's Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby was throwing down. Lois is just talking about it. Ruby was being about it. Oh, Lord.
Over the hill washer, dyeing dryer, then call Remco and rent to own new GE or what?
Buddy, that's the third appliance rental spot in this show.
Mm-hmm.
Rent to own in 18 months. Just start making your payments on your washing machine or your dryer or your refrigerator. My goodness. I guess the only separation any of these folks asked for was one per break. Let's take a listen here.
Drive over to Econo. You'll get a written estimate on bodywork if you need it, and a quality paint job at a low price. Econo guarantees their work for a full year. More people come to Econo than ever before. The work is...
You get your goddamn car painted for $75? What? Well, shit, they only cost $7,000 back then.
That's right. I just like the old graphics and way they, they would show a video and they would freeze it, and the Ice Capades are coming to the Mid-South Coliseum.
And all tickets are half price with discount coupon from Kroger. Don't miss it.
Yeah, go get your tickets at Kroger, you motherfuckers. It's so crazy to me back in the day. Can you imagine? Can you take me to the Chicken Hut? It ain't supper time. No, I got to get my wrestling tickets.
Hey, listen, when I used to buy Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling tickets, at either
store,
there was a men's store men's clothing store you could buy them.
Amazing.
Yeah. They're checking Jerry's eye out right back there now. We got Ken and Eric. Yeah. Here they go.
One thing I noticed?
Look at that, dude.
Yeah. This is not too far before they ended up on Crockett either, about a year, I guess, or so. Then they arrive in 87 to us, something like that, to the Crockett's.
Dude, all these, think about how much different wrestling is. The entire front row is an entire row of women who jumped up to get the hug.
Yeah.
Every one of these ladies wants to hug the wrestlers, and they're all front row, and they come out and just hug them one by one.
And they all got white jackets.
The second
basically.
and third row were coming out saying, "No, we want to hug too."
All these women in the front row have white jackets, so they must be some sort of fan club or something. I don't know.
Listen, it's been said over the years that this territory, what it lacked in income, made up for in fringe benefits.
I bet.
And
I bet
we're seeing like a little trial run of that here.
Oh God, they love
Tommy. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd.
This is a non-title match. One fall, 16-minute time limit. Introducing at a total of 432 pounds. From Memphis, Tennessee, Keith Eric. And from St. Louis, Missouri, Tony Falk.
Tony Falk, of course, is the guy who would wind up giving Jeff Jarrett his very first match. We were lucky enough to host him at StarCast this past year, and I actually got to meet him in real life personally at the Celebration of Life for Mr. Jerry Jarrett. Just the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
Those journeyman wrestlers too, man. What great stories they have. Maybe we should start working on collecting some of those, because those carpenters, if you will, they got some great stories. Oh, look.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Jerry Jarrett.
We can talk about it later, Jerry. You don't need to do it right now. I mean, hey, you did whatever you could. Savage guys come out here and start going after the odds. That's the important thing. Let's worry about that now. Jeff is okay. He's going to be all right. Let's go. Dave.
So they were still selling that Jerry was down from the attack. He comes over with a towel to his eye, crying, and leaves with him, like really crying. Like, this is boy, you want to talk about turning the realism up.
Absolutely.
A grown man squeezes some tears out. Shout out to Jerry. He must have been crying, thinking about how the houses are down.
It's one of those moments where, as a wrestling fan, you say to yourself,
"Oh, that's real."
Yeah, that's real. All of a sudden, there's some realism here.
Jerry Jarrett's been in my family for a long time.
Eddie Marlin.
He's the leader. He knows what to do in any circumstances. This is the first time that I've ever seen him in this situation. They tried to put out his one good eye. When he got his eye put out, he didn't cry about it. He did tell very few people, but I knew about it. They beat up my grandson. They put him out. Jerry don't know what to do, but I know what to do. He's the leader, and when he's around, I'll say, "What do you want to do, Jerry?" And he'll tell me. But he's not here to tell me now, and I know what to do. It's one man that I know of that I can put in there with Dutch Mantell, and they can take care of those two guys. And that one man is Jerry Lawler. I don't care about the contract, Bill Dundee. You can sue me. You can sue the company. You can put us out of business.
But Jerry Lawler, I'm going to go get him on the phone right now. And if I can get Jerry Lawler to come here, he will be against Dundee and Landel. Now, I'm going to call him on the phone, and if I can get him, he will be here. All right.
Dude, how about that little segment? Again, it feels real. We're coming out and we're acknowledging, hey, Jerry's the leader, but they just came out here. They tried to take his good eye, and they beat up my grandson. So we're peeling the onion a little bit. That's not something we did a lot of, and the Fantastics are showing how they are tag team specialists here. Tony Falk don't want none of it, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, they did this while the match was going on to give it even more realism.
Yeah,
you know, the fans would
normally stopped wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Just good stuff. I was going to say, and I think I'm right here. These announcers were on camera a lot more than most announcers, weren't they?
Yeah, because they were really good. Sorry, Tony. You let me have that one. Yeah, Dave Brown and Lance Russell. Man, that was a good duo, was it not?
Yeah, it was a great duo. As a matter of fact, when we went to Jerry Jarrett's funeral, Tony Khan was talking. He loves Dave Brown.
Yes.
Loves Dave Brown. And he loves old Memphis Wrestling. Tony Khan does.
Well, just as a reminder, this is done in a television studio, and these guys were a big part of Memphis news. You know, I think Dave Brown was a freaking weatherman. I mean, so you want to talk about a trusted guy, like, I know this sounds crazy, but even a generation ago, like I can remember 20 years ago, our biggest local media celebrity was the weather forecaster for our CBS affiliate. His name was Dan Satterfield. Yeah. His gimmick was he'd wear those Cosby sweaters all the time. Mm-hmm. And people would nickname him Dan Sweaterfield. And I'll never forget, as a kid, you know, whenever there'd be a tornado in the area or something, he would tell you, hey, kids, go get in the tub, put your helmet on, and, you know, all that sort of shit. And it just cracked me up. Now, of course, I was never a victim of a tornado. I know it's not funny, but the idea of me being a kid, putting a helmet on, getting in the tub, just, I don't know, made me laugh. But he was without question our biggest local, quote unquote, local celebrity. So to leverage those guys, and more importantly, their credibility, you know, because we watch this guy on the news, we believe him, and now he's coming on here. You know, he wants us to believe it's not going to rain tomorrow, and he wants us to believe that Jeff Jarrett's really fucked up. He's just a known liar. Because it is going to rain tomorrow, and Jeff Jarrett's fine.
Yeah. Well, most weathermen are notorious liars anyway.
Yeah, which makes me think you would have been a great one.
I'd have been a great one.
Can you imagine who would have been a better? This is real. Who would have been a better weather forecaster, a TV weatherman? You, Taz, Excalibur, or JR?
Wow. I would go with JR. Taz would say, it's going to rain. If you want to go outside, I don't give a fuck what you do. You can go outside. You can stay inside. I don't give a fuck. But it's going to rain whether you fucking like it or not. What he would say. And if you don't believe me, then you can also come down to the station and I'll stretch your ass and then you'll believe me, right? Right back to you guys. That's what he would say. JR would talk about God making it rain. And
here's what God making it rain. I love it.
Yeah. Right.
Here's what Excalibur would be saying.
Lluvia. 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 Lluvia.
That's rain in Spanish.
Oh, God. Oh, no, he would explain the system in Spanish as it went across Mexico. But as the system went across Japan, he would explain in Japanese.
Here it is. Here's rain in Japanese.
Okay.
Ame. Ame. Ame.
There you go.
Okay. All right. That's what he would be doing.
Yeah. Why not? I don't know why that was funny for me.
I would just overhype the weather, but that's what they do. That's what weathermen do.
This is going to be the greatest Thursday in the history of all Thursday. Quit your jobs, get outside, really stretch it out.
Yeah, right.
We're desperately out of time. That would have been your.
And I got news for you. Tomorrow it's going to rain. You got to do it today. You got to do it today. And by the way, on your phones, send us your pictures outside, and we'll get to them. The tape machines will be rolling.
No, you know what you would have done if you really were a newscaster. Hey, send pictures of your dog. You'd have said that every day.
I would have said that every day.
Hey, you know what? Sun, rain or shine, we need pictures of them dogs. Send them in using hashtag Go fuck my dog. So we seeing a recap here. I feel like we should do another Would You Rather.
Okay.
Would you rather have sex with a duck once? As a heads up, they have corkscrew penises. They're kind of scary.
A duck does?
A duck. Or
Okay.
would you rather shit your pants every time you orgasm?
I would rather shit my pants every time I orgasm.
Because
I don't orgasm hardly anymore.
so you almost never shit your pants, which is about the amount you normally shit your pants.
No, I've shit my pants quite a bit.
Really? So you're a known pants shitter?
Yeah, because here's the deal. You being a young guy, you don't realize it, but when you get in your upper 50s and your 60s, you're going to shit your pants. You are. Especially if you eat some of this stuff we're watching now on TV, a burrito bowl. You'll say, oh, it's just a little bit of gas.
And you
I shit my pants. I've shit my pants quite a bit.
Yeah.
I always, when I travel, take a pair of underwear for every day.
Right.
And then I'd take 2 extra pairs just in case.
All right, let's do another one. Would you rather have sex with a mermaid whose lower body is that of a fish, or have sex with a fish person whose upper body was fish and lower body was human?
Does the mermaid have, with a fish lower body, have big boobs?
Yep. You're gonna have to fuck her fish parts.
Yes, I would think I would do the opposite.
So you're gonna go with a fish upper body.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I mean, I've dated a lot of girls who uglier than fish. So there you go. Hey, Custom Van Days at the Mall of Memphis. Wonder if that Mall of Memphis is still around. You know, malls are kind of, well, hang on. Let's go back to Lance Russell.
Coming in there. The general admission price.
Wait, they're selling Ticketmaster tickets here, and tickets are only $3. How about that?
Wow.
$3.
Tell you one thing, you'll want to be there for the opening match. It is going to be Frank Morrell going against the big assassin in the opening.
Frank Morrell had a great big dick, according to Jeff Jarrett.
Against Tony Falk.
Tony Falk is who Jeff wrestled the first time.
Pat Rhodes,
friend of the show.
1 week ago.
Got a fishing show in Chattanooga.
Match, and this is kind of a rematch with Rhodes and Rose. And that'll be an interesting one. International title on the line. Rick Casey, classy champion, will be defending against the very large Abdul Gaddafi, who will be challenging for that international title. And then you will see a Southern Tag title, and boy, it didn't take promoter Eddie Marlin long to put them together. A lot of conversation from J.D. Costello about his mod squad's going to take over the Southern Tag belts and beat the Fantastics and so forth. They'll get their chance coming up Monday night when the AWA titles are on the line, and Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers will be defending against J.D. Costello's mod squad. And then we'll have the main event. That's one I certainly hope. I got to just tell you, I hope it's changed. It's on the screen as Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel against Dutch Mantell and Billy Travis. And I think any of you who have listened to us over the past month will know that there is absolutely no intention of saying that Billy Travis isn't a fine wrestler. You know the kind of admiration we have for this Rookie of the Year for the international wrestling fans. They voted Billy that. He is an outstanding wrestler and a tough son of a gun. But the truth of the matter, you know it and I know it, is that it takes somebody with the experience that Jerry Lawler's got and the kind of experience that he has in being in tough, wild situations to get in there. I'd love to see that changed. It is going to be, I'm sure, if Eddie can get a hold of it. He's already said, I don't care about the contract of the loser leave town, so let him sue. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Lawler and have him back in here with Dutch Mantell against Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel. Be a whale of a night of action. Mid-South Coliseum. In any event, want you to be right down there with us. Ticket price is $3 for general admission. Bell time is 8 o'clock, and we will be looking for you to be there.
I think you should close something like that. We will be looking for you to be there. Oh, take a listen.
coming out here in a miserable situation.
I'll tell you one thing, what I just saw here, and it's no big secret that I fell out with Landel and Dundee, and I'm glad I did, baby, because they're making my life miserable. But I know how to correct things, so I got out. I bailed out first. But I'm going to tell you one thing. What they just did here, and I tell you, it takes a lot of guts to beat up an 18 or 19-year-old kid. A year out of high school, it takes a lot of guts, Dundee and Landel, to go out and knock him out. But to go ahead and Jerry Jarrett has only one good eye, and you were going for the other one, gentlemen. We saw you right here on the tube, baby. The tube don't lie. You were going for his other eye. Now, I could not. I've done a lot of bad things in my time, but I've never tried to purposely take out somebody's eye, baby, because I know what it's like. Now, I'm going to say, I'm watching my back, baby, because I got that door geared, Jack. If they come in, I'm going to knock them in the next week. Now, I heard Eddie Marlin out here, and he took it upon himself to see if he could get Jerry Lawler back here. And I hope to God he does, because if anybody can help me out, it's Jerry Lawler. But see, what Dundee and Landel don't know about Jerry Lawler is he is a friend of the family, and he watched that kid, Jeff Jarrett. He watched him since he was J-High-Tooth Jackrabbit grow up, and he's like family. And if he thinks he's going to let this go by unanswered, it's not going to happen. Now, I'll tell you, Landel and Dundee, don't get so glory happy in the back and all gloated up, baby, because you went ahead and knocked Jeff Jarrett out, but I checked him in the back, and he's going to be all right. I got Jerry Lawler on the phone, and can we get him hooked up in here? Because he wants to talk to us. He's on the phone. You got a hold of him?
Right now?
Yeah, if you can get him in here.
Bob, is there any way to get the phone? Can we get the
This is great.
Oh, Eddie, but we'll try right now. You got.
By the way, everybody scrambling like this in real time makes it feel real.
Yeah, it does.
I hope you'll bear with us just a
But
second.
I like where they found the phone. It was like
To take the time out to see if we can get all this hooked up. Can Eddie? I don't know whether we'll need to get the operator to switch this in here or not. Whatever we need to do, let's try to do it, because I think it's that. Huh? Will it come out any further?
Somebody just ran across the screen. This all adds to, this looks like chaos and realism. This is well done.
Yeah. Now there's a guy with obviously watching along with us, a guy with a box.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay, let's see.
That's as far as it'll go.
Jerry, can you hear us? No, this is Lance. Eddie's out here with me, Jerry.
Oh, wow. Squatting down over the box.
Okay, good.
I just talked with Eddie just a moment ago, and I'm sitting at home watching this whole thing take place, and this has just gone way past what anything should ever be like this allowed to happen.
Amen.
Ridiculous. I think everybody knows, it's no secret to anybody, that I hate Bill Dundee's stinking guts, and everybody knows that I have hated being away from town. I hated having to lose the loser leave town and not being able to wrestle there in my home area. But what has taken place today, Lance, even goes far beyond that. The fact that I hate Dundee and the fact that I hate not being able to wrestle in my own hometown, that goes without saying. But what I've just watched take place here today, Dutch has already talked about it, to see my friend Jerry Jarrett, and a lot of people don't realize what kind of friends we are. Jerry and I have been friends, and we go back a long, long way through thick and thin. When Jerry was struggling, trying to start his own wrestling promotion, I stuck with him then and helped struggle along while this thing wasn't successful, and helped make it successful, and give the wrestling fans in this area what I think is the best promotion anywhere in the country. And there have been a lot of wrestlers, and Lance, you know them as well as anybody, that have come through here and have gone on to what they thought were maybe bigger and better things, and have not shown any loyalty or any friendship, and have not stuck by. But I have always stuck with Jerry Jarrett, and I've stuck with the fans in this area because I love him, and I love him, and the people here know that, he stuck by me all the way through, too. And I am going to be here. After losing this loser leave town match, it's true. I've had to get on an airplane every week, and I've had to fly all the way across the country, all the way across the ocean to different parts of the world to wrestle. And believe me, Lance, I hate it. I'd rather be right here at home with the people that I know and love and the fans that I've wrestled for all of these years and that I want to continue wrestling for. And now I have an opportunity to come back here and do it. And Eddie Marlin has called me and asked me to come back, and I told Eddie before, sure, Bill Dundee will probably sue because there was a signed and sealed contract
That's all he can do is sue. And I think that Jerry and Eddie Marlin have enough money to keep Bill Dundee tied up in court from now until doomsday if they have to. But what we can do is take care of some business in the ring right away. So I'm already booked to wrestle in other parts of the country this week. I'm going to cancel whatever bookings I have. And Dundee and Landel, I want you to know, boys, that King is coming back to town, and I will. And I'll.
Jerry, just a second. Jerry, this is Dutch. Can you hear me?
I hear you, Dutch.
Okay, look, I know you saw what happened. I'm disgusted with it, but I know we go back a long way, brother. But we got one thing in common. We don't like Dundee, and I don't know if you like Landel or not, but let me tell you, he's a low-life, egg-sucking dog, baby. So if you'll be my partner, I guarantee you, I had Billy Travis as a partner, but, a lot of he's a good wrestler, but he's just not there yet, Jerry. So if you'll be my partner, I guarantee the fans sitting at home that we're going to take care of business, and we're going to take care of it the only way we know how, and that's to kick their butts all over that ring, Jack.
Well, I think that pretty well tells how Dutch feels about it, and I know how you feel about it, knowing how close you are to Jerry. Well, Lance, I just want to say this. I thought I felt as bad as I've ever felt in my life when I lost the loser leave town match. Yeah, I know that. Just a few minutes ago, when I had to sit here on television and watch Jerry Jarrett come out there, and knowing the kind of pride that's inside that guy, and to see him standing there and cry in front of hundreds of thousands of people here on television, because I know his feelings. I know what he's thinking. He's thinking, he's feeling like he's not even a man who's able to help out his own son when he needs him. And I know what kind of emotion had to be going on inside him, and I felt it too. And I want to say this to Dutch. I fought hard against you, Dutch, and I fought hard with you, and you've done the same thing with and against me. And all I want you to do is promise me that Monday night, not only Monday night, but any chance we get a hold of these jerks, Dundee and Landel, that you will fight just as hard as with me as you have against me in the past. And I promise you, and I promise the fans, and I'm promising Jerry and Jeff Jarrett that we will take care of Dundee and Landel, and they're going to know what it's like to have somebody trying to put them out once and for all. We'll do it, Dutch.
Okay, I'll give you my word, baby. We're going to stay together. We're going to teach these guys a lesson.
I'm telling everybody that King is back, and they're going to know it.
Okay, Jerry, we got to get it on here. Thank you very much.
Buddy, what a big time angle that was. Lawler's a promo off the fly, is he not?
Yeah, and you know what? We've many times, I was thinking about this, 3 guys kneeling around a box. It's probably not good, quote unquote, TV.
Traditional.
But the emotion of this is great. And you and I have talked, we watched some old Nitros where there was a lot more talking than wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, this just doesn't play right. But there's a lot more talking than wrestling in this show, but it plays right. Yeah. And it's working just fine because it's a good storyline.
Yes.
And
to Mr. Jarrett, they did a great job putting this story together, and yeah, it felt real, and sort of like when there was all the circumstances that we've seen before over in WCW, like when the police and the responders came, when they did the whole Nitro attack outdoors and the Macho Man's jumping in and people are getting slid into, ambulances and all that. It felt real. And what we just saw felt real. And well, man, maybe this doesn't. Here's the Mod Squad.
Maybe. That was so real. It got it kicked off Disney. That's how real that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
let's track it here.
J.D. Costello and Spike and Basher, the Mod Squad. Expiration of time match. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
We saw those guys in WCW before, but not J.D. Costello. You ever meet old J.D.?
No, I was typing his name here in the Google machine, and I don't remember him unless he wrestled or he worked under another name. Did he?
Your man J.D. Costello. I don't remember him, but he may have just been a territory guy.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. He managed in Memphis in '86. He'd previously been a ring announcer in the Mid-Atlantic area. But
really?
CWA, a tape of himself as the manager of the Mod Squad, and both were hired.
Wow. So maybe I did see him as a ring announcer. I don't know.
So
he kind of looks to me like Rick Stewart, who worked for Bob Geigel and did some stuff for us as well during Starrcade. I think I worked with Rick Stewart at Starrcade '86. That's what he kind of looks like, but sorry, I should have known him.
Well, listen, while we're watching the Mod Squad, I think we should do another Would You Rather.
Oh my God. You run out of shit to talk about, aren't you?
Tony, would you rather have your parents see your sex tape or watch your parents' sex tape?
Oh, I'd rather have my parents see mine.
Really?
Yeah.
You think they'd be proud? I mean, I bet for you to have 5 kids, you used to know how to put that Dairy Queen swirl on top, didn't you?
Yeah.
Either get them hips to swivel and be like, ugh. Yep.
Yeah.
I would curl the cone.
Yeah. You know, there's some kids out there that, like in my family,
yeah.
if you mention like mom and dad, you know, even mom and dad kissing each other in the, let's say mom and dad kissing each other in the kitchen. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Matt Schiavone and Laurie Schiavone would go, yeah, God, stop it. Get out of here now.
Really?
Chris Schiavone would go, look at that. That's how our family was.
Well, they'd do that and then they'd start chanting donkey dicks, donkey dicks. They wanted those big sausages.
Well, ain't we're gonna get them with dad, I can tell you that.
No, not unless they were chanting for Vienna.
Viennas. Dried up hyenas.
Here's another one for you. Tony, would you rather have someone pee on you during sex or pee on someone else during sex? Gotta pick one.
Pee on me during sex.
Oh, really? You're into that?
No, I mean,
actually, I do remember that. I remember I got a text from you that said, I love you. For a minute, I was going to reveal some trade secrets. No, come on. I'm a good brother.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to read the real deal here.
No, you're not.
Would you rather get an erection every single time you laugh or laugh every time you get an erection?
I would rather laugh every time I got an erection.
I think it would be great if you just started popping wood out there with Excalibur and Taz every week. You think you could bump elbow Taz and point down and be like, take a look at this? Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I think if timing is right, I think they're going to be taking a commercial after we hear from Lance here and JD. Let's take a listen.
And we now are going to get an opportunity to talk with, for the first time here, we've had the interviews that have been sent in, heard about all the stories about how great the Mod Squad. Here is J.D. Costello.
And it's your pleasure. First of all, I've got good news and bad news for you today. The bad news is when we arrived on Mother's Learjet from New Orleans, there was no red carpet waiting for us. There was no mayor there with the key to the city. There was nothing there for us. I'd phoned along for a limousine. When the limousine driver got us to the studio today, Dirty got out and spit in my face. Well, Spike and Basher took care of him. I guess he's still in the trash can out back. But shut up over there. No. But the good news is that we're here. And the other good news is that we are going to be fighting the Fantastics from coast to coast. That's them.
That's Paul Bromwell's uncle. I don't know if you knew that.
There.
The Fantastics. We're going to give them, we've been making offers to them to leave the area, to give the belts to us. We're going to make one last offer for them to leave. My mother owns a very large travel service in New Orleans. And what we're going to do is offer Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton 2 first-class, one-way trips to anywhere in the entire world. London, Paris, Rome, wherever they want to go, we'll send them there. And once they get there, my mother, my dear mother, will be there, and she will present each one with a check for $50,000 in cash. Now, all they have to do, there's certain conditions.
Present them with a check in cash.
The belt's over to us today. Leave the area and promise not to come back. Now, if they don't do that, they're going to have to get in the squared circle with us, and we're destined to be the most fantastic wrestling team in professional wrestling history. It's going to be over for the Fantastics.
That's my line.
An answer for that, and I have an idea what it's going to be.
An answer for you. And, you know, after taking a close look at you, I realized the reason birth control was invented.
Marvelous. We'll take time out. We still got action to go. Be back and see the Mod Squad if they can hold it up in the second call. And just
boy, that was a jackleg Jim Cornette.
Yes, it was.
Commercial, and we will too, as we see the Mod Squad and highlights. I'm going to stop it down at 14, 107-14. There it is. And I'm
Got it.
not saying that that I didn't enjoy that, because I did enjoy that. But you know what I enjoy more than that?
What would that be, Conrad?
Seeing how hard you can get that rascal.
Yikes.
Because you can get that rascal pretty hard thanks to our friends at BlueChew. BlueChew is a sponsor of this program and Tony's Wiener. It's a unique online service that delivers you the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Tony tells me he can get it so hard even a cat couldn't scratch it. I don't know why there are animals near his penis. That's none of my business. But here's the deal. It's a simple process. You'll sign up at BlueChew.com. You'll consult with their licensed medical providers. And then once you're approved, they'll go ahead and make sure you receive your prescription in a few days. The best part, it's all done online. That means you don't have to get in your car and schlep it down to the doctor's office. You don't have to have an awkward conversation about how you wish your penis was more rigid. And you don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. You get your dick fix real fast. BlueChew's tablets are made in the USA. They prepare and ship directly to your door, all in a discreet package, but there won't be anything discreet about your package. And I do want to remind everybody, this isn't for guys who have a problem. I mean, it is, but it's also for guys who want to put on a show, guys who want to leave a lasting impression. I don't know what makes them want to do the things they want to do, but I know what makes them want to do it again. That's a 5-star performance. Looking for 5 stars? Look no further than BlueChew.com. And Tony, we've got an amazing offer.
BlueChew wants to help you, that's you, have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for What Happened When listeners. Try BlueChew free when you use our promo code WHW at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code WHW. Receive your first month free. BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast from our BlueChew studios.
Tony, let's get back to our wonderful trip down Memphis memory lane here, March 1st, 1986. I'm at 107:14. That's 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 14 seconds. I'll count us in here in 3, 2, 1, play.
This free catalog is raising the curtain on Troy-Bilt's newest rototiller power composter that costs.
You ever have a tiller?
Yeah, I had a tiller. Rented a tiller one time.
For a garden out behind your house?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What all did y'all plant?
Just flowers.
Wait, you did this to plant flowers? You didn't do this to plant like food?
No, shit. No, you plant food out behind your house and you got squirrels and you got rats and you got snakes. They all want something to eat. You got flowers. It's different for flowers.
The deer don't eat the flowers?
They might. Not sure.
Well, so you did it once.
Once.
Yeah. I've used a tiller before, but my grandma actually kept a garden, like a real one.
Yeah.
You would grow corn and okra and tomatoes.
I'm being from Virginia.
Banana peppers, all that.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, but not you. I mean, you were too goddamn highfalutin. You were a white collar motherfucker. You weren't like.
No, I was no. Well, hold on. It's Richard Petty. It's Richard Petty. It's my man.
Was a goodie. Bristol 73. That was another goodie. Daytona 82. That was definitely a goodie. I've won over 200 races, but I've had over 700 headaches. So just take it from me. Goodies gets rid of the pain fast, and that's what counts.
Goodies headache powders and extra.
Hey man, that was a good promo. And by the way, how different did racing look back then?
Oh my God.
Another rental, dude. We're still renting TVs and appliances. Boy, these guys were just, $12 a week is all it takes to get a VCR. And $12 a week to get a TV. Need a stereo? Also just $12 a week. My goodness. Boys and girls, if you're listening to this and you rent furniture, please stop. Don't rent furniture. Don't rent electronics. Use cash and buy the things you need.
Yeah, for crying out freaking loud.
I want to remind you again, 8 o'clock Monday night, and if you missed it earlier, well, I can't make up for everything that you missed. I can only tell you that Jerry Lawler will be returning with Dutch Mantell in a bout against Dundee and Landel. Right here, a couple of my very favorites, Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers, Southern Tag Champions. A fantastic. I assume you heard all of the garbage that Costello is like. I'm not in the mood today to hear stuff like Costello.
Well, you know, Mr. Russell, I want to say one thing. There's a lot of gorgeous girls in this studio today, brother.
Is that true?
I'm telling you, it excites the Fantastic, but another thing that excites us and gets us wanting to get down on that mat, brother, is a geek guy looking J.D. Costello comes out there and says, well, my mod squad's going to do this. Your mod squad, brother, ain't going to come in here. All the greats have been here. The Fabulous Ones, the Sheep Herders, the Midnight Express, all of them have been through here, but we're still standing, brother. Let me tell you something, mod squad, J.D. Costello. We told these people a long time ago, brother, that we're here to stay and not to play, and that's exactly what we're going to do when we get in that ring with you, Mod Squad. Come on and try to take these belts.
Tommy, it sounded like they're a little afraid they can't beat you, so he's trying to buy the belts by making that offer.
That's right. Let me tell you something, J.D. Costello. We don't want your mother's money. We don't want your travel tickets. If we wanted to go somewhere, we'd use our own money to go somewhere, but we're not going nowhere because we love all these great people out here, and we love this great place. And let me tell you something, J.D. Costello. You remind me of the kid down the street. Bobby and I was talking backstage when he was out here, and you remind us of the whip down the street. Always instigate the fight, but always have somebody else do your fight. Well, let me tell you something. You stick your nose in the Fantastic business, brother, you might as well put them tights on because we're going to drag you right in the ring and take care of you like we're going to take care of the Mod Squad. Mr. Russell, I want to say one more thing. J.D. Costello, this is a word from the Fantastic to you, brother. You can take those tickets, and you can take that money, and you can shove them, brother.
Okay, we got action coming up here in the ring. Fantastic.
They were better wrestlers than they were promos.
Yeah, they really were.
Wasn't bad, but in fairness, they didn't have a lot to work with. I don't think anybody was really worried about J.D. Costello just yet.
No. I was wondering if J.D. Costello was one of Hitchcock's friends. Who's that guy from Greensboro that always was at ringside?
Yeah, Hitchcock. That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you think that?
Because you said he was Mid-Atlantic. Didn't you say Mid-Atlantic for some reason?
He was a ring announcer, I guess, back in the day.
Yeah. Only ring announcers I remember were like Truck and Tom Miller and whoever they used in Richmond and Rona. They would, a lot of times during these shows, they would use, you talked about weathermen, but in house shows, a lot of times they would use local celebrities, local TV guys. C.J. Underwood was the ring announcer for the Crockett's in Charlotte. CJ was a big TV personality. And there was also a TV personality in Richmond that would do the ring announcing there. And sometimes the promoter just did it too, the local promoter. So, and this is one of the things that they would do on spot shows back in the day, is that they would go to a radio station and they say, hey, we'd like you to promote our event. And by the way, you, afternoon drive guy, can be the ring announcer. And
right.
That guy would get excited about it, and it'll help them promote the show on the radio station.
Yeah, as I understand it, Cassio Kid recently had Jeff Jarrett on his radio show to promote AEW House Rules here in Huntsville, Alabama. Tickets are on sale now, AEWTIX.com.
Right.
I understand that it's going down Saturday, June 3rd. Okay. And I, for one, hope that Jeff Jarrett gets to finish what he started. He slapped the taste out of our man's mouth in Dallas last year. I think it would be cool. Let's see what all Jeff can do to poor Cassio.
Yeah, you know what? I would actually try to back Cassio on this.
What?
Yeah, I would think so. I hope Cassio stumps a mud hole in his ass so deep it ends up kicking Jay Lethal in the balls.
But that's going to be tough to do. Like, Jeff's a professional wrestler. We just saw since 1986.
Right.
Cassio's a morning show host. That's a tall order.
Well, he could do the belly bump on him.
But do you think Jeff's going to sell that shit?
Well, you never know. Bellies can be lethal weapons, we understand. Hey, by the way, I would like to say hello to everyone from Squared Circle Collectibles. I was there just this past weekend in Winchester, Virginia, mostly signing the action figures, but signing a lot of photographs as well. Great guys. They are on Valley Pike in Winchester, Virginia. Boy, do they have a lot of action figures there. That's Squared Circle Collectibles. And you go to their Facebook page and take a look at my picture on there.
Yeah, that's what I want. More pictures of you.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody was saying how awesome a guy Tony Schiavone was. How about that, huh?
So you invite him to your wedding. Tony, would you rather have sex in a bathroom of a Taco Bell or in the car, in your own car in your church parking lot?
My own, would church be in? And
yes.
Okay. And who would this sex be with?
Whitney, right?
Okay.
You go Taco Bell or church parking lot.
If it's Whitney, either one, I don't give a shit.
It's Lois.
Okay.
Taco Bell, so you can at least get something to eat after.
Yes.
There you go. Here's one.
Here's sweetie, hold my nachos.
This Bel Grande I just saw. Would you rather have to give an important work presentation naked or never be able to see Lois naked again?
I would take that work thing naked.
You'd rather do that?
No, I'd rather the other one.
Oh, that's the end of Would You Rather.
Thank God. Whew. I know you had to stick something in there that's what she said. Had to stick something in there, give me some heat.
No, that's not true. I'm not trying to get you any heat. By the way, we recently sat down with David Sahadi over at adfreeshows.com. Have you listened to that yet?
I've not.
We talked to John Filippelli once before, and he's the guy who fired Bruce from WWE way back when.
Okay.
One of the people that he brought on was David Sahadi. I'm sure you've at least heard his name. He's responsible for some of the best video packages in the history of wrestling.
Right.
He never, ever does interviews, but he did one with us over at adfreeshows.com. Go try it right now. Get your first week for free. Pretty fun.
Wow.
Adfreeshows.com.
David Sahadi. That's going to be a very, very interesting interview.
Yeah, man, we've had a lot of fun ones.
Yeah. John Filippelli had to be one too.
By the way, I want to mention Big Dynamite tonight. The new TNT champion Wardlow scheduled to appear with Arn Anderson after his title victory last week. Adam Cole, of course, will have some comments about Chris Jericho and the Outcasts. Dax Harwood is going to be looking up at the lights when he gets finished taking a beating at the hands of the greatest professional wrestler of all time, Mr. Jeff Jarrett. And Sammy Guevara is going to take on Darby Allin in the Four Pillars tournament on the road to Double or Nothing. If you haven't already, you can get tickets at AEWTIX.com. As I understand it, by the time folks are listening to this, you're in Sunrise, Florida. Is that right?
In Sunrise, Florida. Of course, that is the home of the FLA Live Arena of the Florida Panthers of the NHL.
Which Bruce and I did a live show for once, the Panthers. Hey, let's take a listen to Lance here.
Uh-oh.
I have no intention of coming over there. As a matter of fact, you guys can just get out of here because I'm not doing an interview with you. You forget it. Forget it. Just, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll end up taking. I'm not doing any interview. No, we don't really care. No, we'll do what's up, and you don't have to say this. Now, you all sit over there and shut up. Lance Russell, you showed a biased opinion. All I ever asked you to do was hold this microphone. Now you're letting your damn feelings come into it, and you started it last week. Now I'm going to tell you something, Russell. When Jerry Lawler beat me to lose the lead down, nobody thought up no contract. Nobody asked me to come back. My blood, my sweat, my tears put in this ring. I have built this damn company 10 years of my life. You're not the only one. Damn Jerry Lawler is the only one. Now Dutch Mantell comes out here, makes a fool of himself, runs Buddy down, runs me down, and everybody takes up for him. I'm just going to tell you, Russell, because you started this whole ball rolling. Now you're just going to get up and walk away. And you think I'm not going to sue you and Eddie Marlin and Jerry Jarrett. You're wrong, Russell. Jarrett.
got to breach the contract. Remember Watergate? Remember Nixon? He thought he was above it. Jerry Jarrett, Richard Nixon thought he was above, and they impeached him. They got him right out of the White House. Now, if they can get him out of the White House, I sure as hell can get you out of the NWA. And you're going, Russell, and you're going too. Now, Jerry Lawler, let me tell you something, Lawler. There is much of my blood, sweat, and tears in them rings around here as yours. But by God, as sure as his name is Buddy Landel, and mine is Bill Dundee, we're going to beat you and brains that Monday night because you're not coming back. We own this town, Budrow, and we're suing you, Russell. Well, the only thing I can tell you is sue.
I'm going to tell you something. Don't wrap us up. We ain't finished this. Don't you dare wrap us up. Because after we get through with you Monday night, and after we get through with you in court, we're going to stand down. We're going to play that thing Lincoln Band on 2 Rolls Royces. And last Russell, when you get fired, we got a position for you. How does the everything down and sound to you, brother? And don't keep smirking over here, Dave Brown. We'll go when we get finished.
Just remember, Jerry Jarrett, the words Richard Nixon, just remember, he was out of you.
You done been run out once, Lawler. You're going to get run out again, except this time on the hospital bed. Let's go to a break. We'll be back in a minute.
They're going to take a break, Tony. I think we should too. This will be our
Okay.
last one. I'll hit it at 10. 121.10 is where we want to stop. And we're going to talk about something that our friend Dutch Mantell needs to hear about.
Yes.
Gentlemen, if you didn't already know, tax season is here in the U.S. And you know what that means? It means that Manscaped is here to make sure your paperwork is done and that your boys downstairs are having fun. Spend your tax money, your tax return money on the important things this year. Things like your family, your friends, and ball deodorant. Join
Yes.
8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use the code WHW. What better way to invest your tax return than in yourself? Manscaped has you covered from head to toe. It's all about the Performance Package 4.0. It's the ultimate bundle to reinvent yourself and boost that confidence. The star of the show, it's the Lawnmower 4.0. This motherfucker's got an LED light on it. You can shave your balls in total darkness, and just like Rudolph, the lawnmower will lead the way right to the promised land, your ball sack. By the way, it's waterproof as well. You ever wanted to shave your sack in a hot tub at night? Well, you can now. And how about the Performance Package 4.0? It's got the Weed Whacker 2.0. It's ear and nose hair trimmers that are so strong, even Tony Schiavone's weeds don't stand a chance. Seriously, it's a brand new, totally revamped, new and improved motor and blade. May I dare say it's the best one I've ever used. And just like the lawnmower, it has skin-safe technology. Going to make sure that it's not going to hurt you. Speaking of not hurting you, it never hurts to have good-smelling balls. That's right. The Crop Preserver is anti-chafing ball deodorant. Maybe you've heard of that Michael J. Fox movie from the 80s, The Secret to My Success. Well, here's a little pro tip, boys and girls. When Tony Schiavone, before he got back in wrestling, stinky nuts, he started using this ball deodorant from Manscaped, and within hours, Tony Khan called, and wrestling history was never the same. The Crop Reviver worked as well as two. You know, the 83 weeks program, we had that back in the day. Eric started spraying some on his balls. That 203 number showed up on his area code. Once he moved to Stanford, he quit using the Reviver. You don't think Vince knew that Eric's balls were hitting the water again? Yeah. Keep the Crop Reviver as part of your routine, and that's how you stay employed in wrestling. Everybody knows that. They've also got Beard Pro kits now. The Beard Hedger Pro kit, man, it's the head honcho. It's got 9 products plus all the wet goods. And here's the difference between their beard kit and everybody else's. You usually have like a whole drawer full of guards. Not here. You can get all your positions with one guard. We really appreciate Manscaped. It feels like they've been here with us since the very beginning. We would greatly appreciate if you would try to support our sponsors. They make this show possible. And I want to be serious here for a minute. They are a big advocate for Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. That's right now in April. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. We have a lot of fun here, but they're doing a lot of good as well. And we hope that you would at least take a look at their offer and consider it. And, well, it might pay dividends. Tony, what might they need to do to get the hookup?
Well, take us from a guy who uses the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. Take it from a guy who uses the crop preserver after every shower, the crop reviver, and a crop mop that I use on days that I don't take a shower, which, by the way, only 1 or 2 days a week now. Take it from me that this is the best product that you can get for grooming down under. By far, they've set the standard. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code WHW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code WHW at manscaped.com. Don't just get your money back this year, get your swagger back too with Manscaped.
How about that? Let's get back to the program here. We're winding it down. We're home stretching. I'm at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 10 seconds of March 1st, 1986. 1 hour, 21 and 10 seconds. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
There are a lot of winter clothes left at SNK that need somebody. So we've taken an extra $20 off of SNK's already sale-priced winter suits. And we've taken an extra $10 off of our already reduced winter jackets and coats. And we've taken an extra $10 off of our already reduced winter sport coats. So if you're somebody that needs clothes, remember SNK clothes that need a body.
If you're somebody that needs clothes. Wow.
Wow. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Now
color time.
Television's as good as its dealers. That's so reliable, they're the only ones on the market with a 5-year limited warranty. And you can only get them at Color Time.
They go rent them here?
The only 5-year warranty. No wonder we're America's largest rent-to-own system.
God damn it. How much shit were we renting? These shyster motherfuckers.
Let me tell you what you get when you buy a Sherman Ford used car. All cars must pass Sherman Ford's rigid 43-point checklist, which includes a transmission, rear end, power steering, air conditioning, and complete powertrain check.
When was the last time you had your rear end checked out?
About 2 months ago.
Ready for you. On most used cars, we include free limited powertrain warranty backed by
at the doctor's.
Oh, I thought, wait, hang on. You took your car to the doctor?
Oh, no, I was talking about my other.
Talking about that new 2027 Range Rover you're riding around in, that red on red.
Oh, here we go. Want to rent own this field.
I had to get out of the alcoholic rut I was in. I found the place to turn my life around.
And it was Rent-A-Center.
The hospital in Brinkley. I got away to the natural serenity of the Delta, the perfect place to start a new life. You got a drinking problem? Don't wait another minute. Call the Intercept program now. You'll come a long way.
So we're promoting the alcoholics and people who need to rent shit. This is our target audience for wrestling here.
Okay, we got Dirty Rhodes out here.
Oh wow!
You gonna parody the promo too?
You just like a man, boy.
Brother, in all my years,
all my years of being a Dusty Rhodes wannabe, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, as a matter of fact, they may want to take me in about 10 years and stick polka dots on my ass, and I wouldn't be as pissed off as I is right now. Take a look at the ring. It's on my finger. It is a Collegiate Division II runner-up ring. Back when I worked at Memphis State, we had a football team back then. Now, you may not have heard of me. That's okay, because my name is Dirty Rhodes. And how do I know my name is Dirty Rhodes? Take a look at me. Take a look at my curly blonde hair. Take a look at this T-shirt that really doesn't fit on me. Take a look at these black trunks. And how about that elbow drop that I put onto the ring? That's what I'm talking about. And here, I'm going to say this. From years from now, my cousin, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, is going to have 2 kids, 2 boys. One's going to be Dustin. He's going to have paint his face, half his face. No one knows why, but he's going to paint half his face. Even Tony Schiavone will go up to him and say, why do you got your face painted in half? And he won't have an answer. Then they got Cody. Cody's going to go on and be a star. Me, I'm going to end up drinking at a bar somewhere here just south of Memphis, maybe somewhere in Mississippi, and I'm going to be watching Dynamite. I may be watching Raw. I may be watching SmackDown. I may be watching one of them YouTube shows. Or how about Rumpage? Rumpage coming on Friday nights, or maybe on Saturday, or maybe on Friday afternoons depending on when there's hockey on TV. But the fact is I am a member of the Rhodes family. Take a look at me. Take a look at how big I am. No more problems. But I want to tell you right now, they may stick polka dots on me or may stick polka dots on my hero. But that will not piss me off any more than when I saw Jerry Jarrett come out of here with a bad eye and cry about his good eye because they tried to take out his eye. I can tell you this right now. I'm going to take them and rub their face on Dutch Mantell's gnarly back until they fall down in the ring, and I'm going to pin them back to you, Lance.
Because it is something that needs to be corrected. Let me give you a complete rundown of the action coming up at the Coliseum.
They're rebooking the card.
The general admission is still $3 for general admission.
This is how you sell tickets.
Entertainment you'll find anywhere, anytime. A friend Frank Morrell goes against the Assassin, and the
Real big
opener,
penis.
Thunderbolt Hamilton, goes against Tony Falk.
I would think they sold the place out, wouldn't you?
The international title shot when Abdul
They didn't?
challenges.
I don't think so. I mean,
Not even with Lawler coming back?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't think that sold it out every time. 86, the business was down.
Yeah, you're right. But they still got Billy Travis's name up there. They couldn't change it.
Oh shit! I'll be damned. You
What's
nailed
that?
it. This event that they're promoting here. By God. Let's take a listen.
Championship Wrestling today. Dirty Rhodes, you just saw him. He won his match over Benny Traylor today. Dirty with a good victory. It only took him a minute to do it. Dutch Mantell defeated Jerry Garman. It was Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel, boy, in that one with Jim Jameson and David Johnson. They won the match. And then they hurt the referee, Jeff Jarrett, and then they went after Jerry Jarrett. And then from then, boy, anyway, the Fantastics then came in and defeated Tony Falk and Keith Eric. Then it was Spike and Basher, the Mod Squad, their first trip here to Championship Wrestling with J.D. Costello. They defeated Thunderbolt Hamilton and David Haskins. I'm still steamed about that. I can't talk about it.
Boy, I am with you, man. And I'll tell you, we sat here and we generally, I think you pretty well know, we like good wrestling, and that's what we like to see. We rarely ever come out and just say flat. I'm telling you, flat. I hope Dundee and Landel get the stew beat out of them down there, buddy. And I'm going to be there to see it. We'll see you down. Till next week, for Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye.
Tony, I'll tell you, that was a really good show. And turns out you were right. This was known as the last sellout. March 3rd, 1986, they drew 11,300 fans there to see Frank Morrell beat Keith Eric, Larry Hamilton over Tony Falk, Dirty Rhodes over Pat Rose, Abdul Gaddafi beat Rick Casey to win the CWA International title. The Mod Squad would beat Larry Hamilton and Dirty Rhodes, who was pulling double duty. And then in the main event, only 6 matches here, Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantell would beat Bill Dundee and Buddy Landel. 11,300, known in Memphis circles as the quote-unquote last sellout. You nailed it, dude. How about that?
Well, it doesn't surprise me because it was a good angle.
It was a great angle.
Yeah.
Best hours of TV, like as far as start to finish, telling a story, a thread throughout it. I mean, they checked a lot of boxes there. That was good stuff.
And once again, like old studio wrestling back in the day, it was the story, not the wrestling, that brought you in as a viewer.
Tony, what do you think sells more tickets, stories or matches?
Well, in this day and age, it's different than back then. Back then, it was stories, not matches.
You think these days it's matches?
I think it's. I think you can't do one or either or. I think it's a little bit of both. I think great matches make you want to see the guys, and want to go watch wrestling again. And I think great stories also bring you in. It goes back to this. I think being able to do promos is the only way you can legitimately get over.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah. So great promos are the hallmark of great storylines.
Who was the best promo on that show today? To you?
Dutch Mantell. I think the Dutch Mantell interview, they talked about the eye. Although, listen, Bill Dundee gave a great heel interview. And that was realism, the way he pointed at Lance Russell and threatened to sue him. And they kept showing Lance Russell, backing away and looking very serious. That was a very good. So, yeah, Dundee or
I say Dundee, and believe it or not, he wasn't there, but Dundee and Lawler, man.
Oh, the thing that Lawler did on the phone? Oh, sure.
That was great. That felt fun.
That was great.
By the way, we got lots of fun stuff going on our YouTube. Check it out if you haven't already. WHW on YouTube.com. That's WHW on YouTube.com. Lots of fun swag over at lowestrules.com. Lots of new stuff. The new Halo shirt, the TDT shirt. That's all I got to say about that. But before we get out of here, Tony, I say we do one last Would You Rather.
Go ahead, Conrad.
Would you rather pay to have sex or be paid to have sex?
I'd rather be paid to have sex.
Okay. I'm going to need you over here tonight at 8:00. We'll be back next week right here on WHW Monday. But don't forget tonight to tune in and see Tony live on TV. A 20-minute MJF promo is in your near future. It's AEW Dynamite every Wednesday night, and every Friday it's Rampage. Lots of fun stuff happening. They're coming to an area near you. They're coming to Huntsville, by God. Pick up your tickets now, AEWTIX.com. And don't forget, you're across the pond, the biggest show you've been waiting on. You've been waiting since 1992. It's coming back. Tickets are on sale next week, AEWTIX.com. But Tony, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time, but we are desperately out of time because right now it's a little bit after 5:00 my time, and it takes me 3 hours to get to Conrad because I'm going to start the week with a bump. We'll see you next week on What Happened When. We come to you Wednesdays on Cumulus Westwood 1, but Mondays we come to you on
Patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.
Hey guys, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley here, and I need to call a quick timeout, a brief timeout, because I wanted to tell your listeners what I have been telling Foley is Pod listeners for a while now about all the cool things happening over on adfreeshows.com.
An all-new edition of The Insiders is here, as Conrad welcomes David Zahadi, the man behind so many iconic video packages WWF fans grew up on, including one that left Vince in tears.
You got it. And Conrad, I swear, I walked outside the studio, and Vince was sitting down on the concrete floor, crying hysterically, just saying thank you, thank you,
wow,
thank you. I went up to told Kevin, he says, good job, can't wait to see it. 15 minutes later in the stairwell, Vince is still sitting down in a different spot now, crying, saying thank you, thank you.
Special guest host Raven sat in for Jake the Snake Roberts on the Snake Pit, looking back 25 years on his rivalry with DDP and an interesting new member of the flock.
Jimmy Hart comes up to me one day and goes, hey, Hulk would like a favor. I go, what is it? He goes, he'd like you to put Horace in the flock. I'm like, sure. Am I going to say no? But it became a running gag like Jericho and Conan. Three of us used to hang out together and call ourselves the triumvirate of useless information. And so they were like, wait, did you put Horace Hogan in the flock because he's Hogan's nephew? I'm like, what? He's Hogan's nephew? I had no idea.
That's just a small taste, a sampling, if you will, of what we have waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from. 4. See for yourself why ad-free shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now, right now, at adfreeshows.com. Yeah.
Fight Plus is the ultimate digital platform for live sports and entertainment, and they're now offering a free 7-day trial at tryfight.com. Fight Plus is packed with a premium live event schedule, over 1,000 hours of live action every year, and a library of more than 4,000 hours on demand, plus exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. Fight is a great partner of ours. They support us, so let's support them. Give that free 7-day trial a shot, and you'll be a member for life. That's tryfight.com. tryfite.com.